Have you ever had a moment that should have felt good, but somehow your mind ruined it? Maybe you were finally getting time to relax. Maybe you were with people you care about. Maybe something nice was happening for once. But instead of enjoying it, your brain pulled you somewhere else, into worry, into replaying the past, into imagining problems that have not even happened. And just like that, the moment was gone. That is what makes overthinking so dangerous. It does not always ruin your happiness in loud, dramatic ways. Sometimes it does it quietly, slowly, moment by moment. It steals peace from calm moments. It drains joy from good experiences. And it makes life feel heavier than it really is. The worst part is that many people think overthinking is helping them. They think it is making them more careful, more prepared, more aware. But in reality, it is often stealing the very thing they want most: peace of mind. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways overthinking is ruining your happiness. And the last one is especially important, so do not miss it, because if you miss that one, you might keep repeating the habit that quietly steals joy from your life every single day. By the end of this video, you will understand why overthinking makes happiness harder to feel, how it secretly controls your mood, and what shift can help you feel calmer, lighter, and more present in your own life. Let's begin. The first way overthinking ruins your happiness is that it steals the present moment. This is one of the biggest losses, because happiness does not usually live in the past, and it does not live in the future. It lives here, in the moment you are in right now. But overthinking keeps pulling you out of that moment. You could be having dinner with your family, but your mind is replaying something awkward from yesterday. You could be resting after a long day, but your brain is worrying about tomorrow. You could be walking outside in a peaceful moment, but inside your head, there is a storm. So your body is in one place, but your mind is somewhere else. And when your attention is constantly hijacked by fear, regret, and mental noise, even good moments start feeling empty. Imagine someone sitting in a beautiful park during sunset. The air is calm, the light is soft, everything around them is peaceful. But inside their mind, none of that exists. They are thinking, what if I fail next week? Why did I say that yesterday? What if something goes wrong? What if I am falling behind? Now the moment is gone. Not because life ruined it, but because overthinking did. The second way overthinking ruins your happiness is that it makes small problems feel huge. This is where life starts feeling exhausting. A small issue happens, and your mind refuses to leave it small. Maybe someone replies with a short text. Maybe you make a tiny mistake. Maybe one plan goes wrong. A calm mind says, "Okay, not ideal, but I will move on." An overthinking mind says, "What does this mean? Did I mess everything up? What if this becomes worse? Why does this always happen to me?" And suddenly, a tiny problem becomes emotional weight. This is how overthinking drains happiness, because it turns ordinary moments into heavy experiences. It is like carrying a small bag, then filling it with bricks all day long. Eventually, of course, you feel tired. Of course, life feels heavier. Of course, happiness feels harder to reach. Many people are not only exhausted because life is difficult, they are exhausted because their mind keeps adding pressure to things that were already small. That is what overthinking does. It magnifies. And when everything feels bigger than it really is, joy becomes smaller. The third way overthinking ruins your happiness is that it destroys self-trust. This one goes deep, because every time you overanalyze your words, your choices, your actions, or what other people think about you, you slowly teach yourself one thing: I cannot trust myself. That message is damaging, because happiness becomes very difficult when you are constantly doubting your own mind, your own decisions, and your own worth. Think about someone who speaks in a group conversation. The moment passes. Nobody attacks them. Nobody even says anything bad. But later, they keep replaying it. Did I sound stupid? Why did I say that? They probably judged me. I should have stayed quiet. Now look closely. The pain is no longer coming from the moment itself. The pain is coming from the mind attacking it afterward. And when that becomes a habit, confidence starts shrinking. You become more cautious, more quiet, more afraid of making mistakes. And the less you trust yourself, the less freely you live. Happiness needs space. It needs freedom. It needs self-acceptance. Overthinking attacks all three. The fourth way overthinking ruins your happiness is that it keeps you stuck instead of letting you live. This is where dreams get delayed. This is where chances get missed. This is where people stay in their head for years while life keeps moving. They want to start something. They want to try something. They want to say yes to something. But then the overthinking begins. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I regret it? What if I am not ready? And instead of moving, they freeze. Instead of trying, they delay. Instead of growing, they stay stuck. That hurts happiness in a very real way. Because happiness is not only about feeling good, it is also about feeling alive. It comes from movement, from progress, from expression, from action, from giving yourself permission to step into life. Overthinking blocks that. And one of the saddest feelings in life is not failure. It is the feeling that you never gave yourself a real chance. The fifth way overthinking ruins your happiness is that it trains your mind to look for what is wrong instead of what is good. This is the deepest one, because what you practice becomes your pattern. If every day your mind keeps scanning for danger, replaying mistakes, imagining worst-case scenarios, and searching for problems, then slowly your brain starts believing that this is normal. Stress feels normal. Fear feels normal. Worry feels normal. And happiness starts feeling unfamiliar. Even when good things happen, your mind struggles to stay with them. Why? Because it has been trained to focus more on danger than on joy. Imagine waking up every day and immediately checking problems in your mind. Then, all day, you replay conversations, predict disasters, question yourself, and mentally scan for what could go wrong. Even if something beautiful happens, your brain barely notices it. It is too busy searching for trouble. That is why this habit is so dangerous. Because overthinking does not just ruin moments, it changes the way you experience life. But here is the good news. Overthinking is not your identity. It is not your destiny, and it is not permanent. It is a pattern, and patterns can change. The moment you stop treating every thought like truth, things begin to shift. The moment you stop feeding every fear with more attention, things begin to lighten. The moment you stop calling worry protection, your mind starts breathing again. And that is where happiness begins to return. You notice more, you enjoy more, you trust yourself more, you live more. So remember this: overthinking ruins happiness by stealing your presence, turning small problems into emotional burdens, destroying self-trust, keeping you stuck, and training your mind to focus on fear instead of life. But now you can see it. And once you can see it, you can change it. After watching this video, you will be able to recognize the hidden ways overthinking steals your happiness. Catch these patterns earlier, and start building a calmer, lighter, and more peaceful way of living. You do not need to solve every thought. You do not need to control every outcome. And you do not need to keep fighting battles inside your mind all day long. Sometimes the biggest step toward happiness is simply stopping the thoughts that keep stealing it. Because the moment you stop living inside every fearful thought, you finally make room to enjoy your life again.